What's up, YouTube? This is ShapeSnatch93. I'm coming at you with a deck profile / tournament report for Garden City. I went 4-4. I ended up like 8. I didn't make any misplays that caused me to lose a game or anything. My opponent opened broken. I played my round 1. I'm sitting at 3,900 life points. The guy, top decks, he's playing heroes. He's E-Call, goes into Excalibur and swings for game. I have both Gores and Tragodia in my hand with no Battle Fader. It was game 3 too. After that, I proceeded to win my next 3 games. And then round 5 would be, I ended up playing 6 Sams. The guy, I beat him game 1, and then game 2 and 3 he opened Gateway both times and ended with Sheehan and Shockmaster. So there's really not much any deck can do against that. So what can you do? And then I lost to Dark Worlds shortly after that. The guy drew the absolute nuts. He drew double Smog and Deck Devi versus my deck. So there was really nothing I could do against that 3,000 Greffa. And then I lost to Gravekeepers in time. I believe if I would have won that, I would have ended up 5-3, and I had a better possibility of at least getting my invite. But it just didn't happen. So I mean, I'm going to Cleveland Regionals at the Wolstein Center, and I'm going to Columbus. So, and I'll probably be playing the same deck because I really enjoyed this deck. I feel like it's a really good meta call, especially with how controlling the meta is. You know, there's a lot of decks like Gravekeepers and 6 Sams and stuff. The problem with this deck, just because you can always get rid of their problems. So, I started. I played triple swap. Obviously, I would not change this. It's the heart of the deck. Double Treeborn. This is not going to make sense to most of you guys, but 3 is too cloggy. Because you really don't want to set this. I don't like setting it. I'd rather set or just summon the Swap Frog and pitch it. So, and then you got the 1 Rodent Totem. That's it for the frogs. I didn't run Dupe Frog, and I kind of regretted it. Just because after Dupe Frog was absolutely amazing, especially with the next card, Lad. So many times I could, sorry, I'm getting a little, sick there. So many times I abused the hell out of Sangan and got triple Battle Fader in my hand, or, you know, stuff like that. I played 3 of him. Every time I dropped him, I won. And I kid you not, most of the time, players will... You can summon him either early game to save him until my opponent's wasted all their resources, or like I've burnt through their resources, summoning, you know, either triple Ryza or triple Caius, and then summon Lad in the simplified game state, and then it's really hard to get over that. Even 23, you know, if they chain Bottomless to a summon, it's hard to get over that 23 or that 28 to begin with, and the fact that he just negates everything helps. And there's a couple cool plays I did to the Gravekeeper. I played 2 Gravekeepers. The first guy, I was able to summon Swap. I didn't activate his effect. My Lad had 1,800 attack, and I bounced Swap for the activated Swap's effect to bounce Lad for the cost, and then I resummoned him again. It's just really good. It's just continuously mind-issuing your opponent. This card, I feel like it should have been Obelisk, but every time I drew him, he was amazing. You know, if you're dark holing your opponent's board, you don't care if you're left open because he returns to the hand you for 22. So, I mean, my new build, I'll probably show you guys the new build after this, but I couldn't find room for him. Again, I feel like with most of the OTK potential in this format, leaving yourself open is not that good unless you have a Battle Fader, so I might try to fit in 1, but definitely not 2. This guy put in work all day. He's a water, you can discard him for swap. He blows up 2 back rows. He got Starlight Roaded once, which really sucked. That's a Gravekeeper guy that beat me in time. But opposed from that, I he was never Starlight Roaded apart from that. And then every time I won, you know, they'd summon Alias and then set 2, or they'd set like Gravekeeper Spy or something that's important. I'd Soul Exchange, drop Mobius. That play in itself is absolutely crippling, because then you're leaving your opponent with 3 cards in their hand, and you know, most of the time, you know, you're getting rid of Deep Prison or not Warning, Deep Prison or like a Bottomless or something. So it's really good. I play triple Battle Fader. I don't understand the builds that don't run 3 of him, because I feel extremely safe with him in my hand. People said it's too cloggy, but when you open double Battle Fader, there's no reason you should lose the game. So that's my take on it. I've always needed triple Battle Fader because I've never drawn him, especially when I need him. So, and I did double Trag. He's like the Monarch in my opinion. He comes down as a 3 grand beater, especially in this deck, because you can't really overextend in this deck. You can play like 1 card per turn, and that's really about it, unless you have Swap Frog in your hand, and then you can do some shenanigans. But he's almost always 3 grand. My opponent actually Monster Reborn my Ryza. I was playing against Plants, and I dropped this. He Monster Reborns my Ryza, attacks for 24. I was like, okay. I pitched Dark Dust Spirit, grabbed my Ryza back, made him level 6 and overlaid for Bouncer and finished the game off because he had Zenmaines on the board. So I feel like that the ability to take level 6s, level 1s, 8s, you know, you can take your opponent's BLS with Trag, is phenomenal. The brain control aspect of him is awesome. So, and then especially with XYZs, you know, you can always call the level and you can overlay and stuff. We ran Gorz because it's Gorz. And we ran Sangan. I really wanted the Snowman Eater, in my opinion, should have been Duke Frog, but because he's absolutely bird-hearted, he's like Sangan, except, you know, he misses timing, but if you play him right, he's fine. The Sangan, I love abusing him with, you can do so much crazy stuff. And then, I teched the Snowman Eater. I really didn't like it. Like I said, I'd rather really have the Duke Frog in there, just that extra little bit of search. Then we got the Soul Exchange. I don't understand the people that don't run more than, like, 2. You know, they don't max out on this. Because this is your instant out to almost... I mean, unless they drop, like, Xian or Shockmaster or something and call spells. But then, you know, you can always follow up with a Monarch. But this is your out to anything. So, I don't understand why people don't run it. Especially running triple Lad. I'd rather run that. And then I ran triple, and I don't understand the people that don't run max out on this. With Treeborn, it's a brain control. It lets you drop your Lad effortlessly. There was actually where I could, I had Monster Board and Enemy Controller, and I almost went for Xian. Because I actually played Xian, Dalka, I think I played in my extra deck. I don't have it together right now, so I'm not going to bother showing you guys, but I played, like, Shining and stuff, and I was talking to my friend the night before the regional, and I just thought it'd be hilarious, you know, if you sit down at a table and you know, I'm playing 0, so this is my 0 extra deck, but, you know, you drop your extra deck and you go, oh, crap, and you flip it back over. You know, your opponent instantly thinks they're playing heroes, and it could vary what you... So, I just thought it'd be kind of funny. I actually almost made Xian. I didn't play any Dino Rabbit. I really wanted to open up, like, Enemy Controller, Monster Reborn, and, like, make Dalka or Lagia, because it'd just be hilarious just to see that happen. Especially because this deck really does deck. Like, I used Bouncer, and I used Gotchi, and I think I might have used a Leviair somehow. But that was it. So, I mean, there's a lot of space in the extra deck for no reason. It's just how the deck works. Anyway, to get off my tangent, we have Double Duality. This is it makes it incredibly inconsistent, so that's why I played 2. Unfortunately, you can't play 3. I really don't think I'd play 3, but base. People got mad because I was blind MSTing a lot, but when you're getting ready to drop a Monarch, I'd rather blind MST than a one back row and have it be a dead MST and safely get my Monarch off, because that's a battle. Like, the way I see it is, you know, I'm always reading that as a warning, or that back row as a warning, or a bottomless or something like that. So, you know, they warning or bottomless your Monarch, and next turn they're attacking for 18, 19, something like that, and then sometimes I'm forced to drop Battle Fader ST and have a safe Monarch on the field to waste a Battle Fader. So I see a lot of people, you know, on the first damage they'll drop Battle Fader. I don't. I take it until I'm forced to drop Battle Fader. I like it a little more just because it frustrates your opponent and makes them misplay. So, and then the Trinity is Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm. Yeah, they're good, I guess. And then I played the one Foolish. Overall, that is 6 ways to get Treeborn to the grave. Yeah, if you count double or triple swap, double Treeborn, and then the Foolish. And then my side deck. I don't like Vanity's Fiend because of his low defense. You know, plans run enemy controller, stuff like that. Book of Moon also gets him. So I decided to run Christia because, you know, he can be special summoned, which is awesome. So if you drop Lad with him in the graveyard, you can special summon this. They have to waste all their resources to get around Lad, and then you drop Christia, and they really can't do anything about it. And I like him because he got the 2300 defense, so he can't just be like ran over with something random, like a Doomcowl or Burrow Knight or something. I don't know. But and the fact that he always goes back to the top of the deck, it really pisses off your opponent, because most people, you know, you can run Dark Hole or whatever, but apart from that, you know, if you're smart with this, if you're not attacking into back row, like I see most people do, you know, most of the time I'll actually sit with Christia in defense and just keep like swinging with like like Monarchs or something that I soul exchanged or stuff like that. Because if your opponent can't special summon, the game's over. Honestly, they can't beat 2300 with a monster that you can't special summon. So, and we got double Jinzo. This guy put in work all day. I pissed the hero guy off, and I pissed a lot of people off when I drop Jinzo first and then I heavy storm into 5 back row, because the most they're going to do is warning Jinzo, and I'm not worried about it because they're already 2 grand low. So, and I can always like Monster Born, or I can always draw the other one. But yes, I did it to the one guy, the hero guy. I knew he was kind of setting up for, just in case he top decked like Stratos or something and wanted to go into Excalibur. So I summoned Jinzo first, and I heavy storm, and then the last card he flips over is the Starlight Road, and I was like, wow. So, I mean, he's really good if you can read your opponent like that. I did it a couple times during that day, so, and then I had one Max Seed. I borrowed it from my friend. I have 2 in the mail now, but I sided in against Plants. It was okay, I guess. I didn't play Wind-Ups, otherwise I'd obviously like him. This card was garbage all day. I sided in him once against Gravekeepers. And it was just because game 2 and 3, I was going to try to go for more of a slow game. And, you know, let him flip the Spy and Veiler. I don't know why. I guess I was afraid, like, of what he was going to side. So I just decided to kind of play that game. It actually helped me. It actually won me the game. So, a game. I played Double DD Crow. I love this card all day. He came in against Plants and the Dark World guy, and I loved it. Every time I drew him, he was live, and I stopped my opponent from dropping BLS because he milled 3 with Card Trooper. I DD Crowed his only target, and I won that game. I DD Crowed his Spore. The Dark World guy that beat me. Game 2, I believe, I DD Crowed his Greffa, and then I Caius the other one. So the game was over from there. And I did the Snowman Eater. I didn't like it at all. I don't know why, but I just wasn't a fan of Snowman Eater in this build. He's too slow. I liked him once all day, and that's when I was able to set, and then I was able to flip him and then target my opponent's monster. They Veiler, then I tributed for Monarch. That was the only part I liked. But apart from that, I'm taking him out for Dupe Frog, a little more consistent. MST, I sided the other one just because you needed it, just in case. Like the Dark World guy, like I said, he opened up like double Smog deck Devi on me. I didn't draw the other space, but it was nice. It was nice just to have that idea that I had 3 MSTs. Now, this is what I'm side decking now. Double Needle Stealing. This is because of the Ultra Reality article. I just think it's really good, especially in Monarchs. Because you can set dupe a lot and then set this. And, you know, they'll probably read it as an MST if it's game 2. Or like a enemy controller kind of thing. So, you know, you can always set this and flip Needle Stealing on them. I don't remember what else I cited. It wasn't relevant because I didn't remember. But what I am citing for Dark Worlds, besides the DD Crows, is probably going to be End of Anubis. The cards are broken. You can't destroy it with Greffa. But I believe you can still special summon Greffa, so I gotta kind of figure out a kink, or there's a little kink in there where he can just literally run over End of Anubis. Which sucks, but yeah, it stops their searching and everything else that activates in the graveyard, so it might be able to slow them down enough where I can just take advantage of Monarchs and stuff. So, but that's my tournament report. I ended up going 4-4, losing to Dark Worlds, Heroes, 6 Sams, and Gravekeepers. The Gravekeeper guy beat me in time. So, I mean, really, what can you do? So, I'm working on a build right now, so I'll probably upload later this week. So, I got a couple papers and stuff to do, but, alright, that's it. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace out, YouTube.